Welcome. You are into the Unit 2 makeITsimpleTT walkthrough. I would guess that you probably watched the Unit 1 probably last year, or you probably just finished watching Unit 1 and you just decide, well, I'm going to continue to watch Unit 2 once I'll know what I have to do. Either way, you're here, and our journey is going to take us through the Unit 2 IA. So let me just explain a little bit about what the Unit 2 IA is about before we actually start. And I want you to understand that this part of the course, or makeITT, is practical. So there's not much write-up, even though there are things that you have to write up, and they tend to give a lot of problems to some students based on the examiner's report. So I'll be using the same examiner's reports, the same information that I had for Unit 1. The same examiner's reports have information about Unit 2, and it tends to be a little clearer about what is expected in Unit 2, so you get a better chance of what to look for. So our goal is going to be get the write-up done in the first few videos, and then I'm going to show you how to actually build the websites and build a database. So it'll be 2 videos because I need to show you the 2 directions I could go, which I would have told you this in Unit 1, that your solutions must go down the route of either a website or a database. So there'll be the practical aspect of both sides. So in the write-up, I will be showing you both sides of the fence. So I'll give you the write-up for our website, the write-up for our database, and some of the things that you have to include to make sure that you get your marks. So Unit 2 IA, yeah, it's really not that hard. You just really have to spend time and pay attention to the finer details when you're building the website and building the database to make sure that you cover the marks that they require. And of course, there's always some things that are not said in the syllabus, so that's what the examiner's reports are there for, and my experience in marking them and doing them. So let's go into the Unit 2. Okay, so we on to this video number 3 of the Unit 2 section, and last video we covered problem definition and analysis of the problem. The analysis of the problem was basically a copy paste from Unit 1, but we added some things to it just to make sure that we didn't just do a carbon copy, and we tried to get as detailed as possible. Now we on to identification and justification of the IT tools used in the solution. Now this is very, I don't know, sometimes it's kind of gray, because for a few years I didn't understand what they wanted here, but I think I understand it now based on what they have in the examiner's report. So look at this image here, and I'll show you what they have in the examiner's report. You will see that they have said that this section, students are asked to identify and justify the use of productivity tools and features of the tools that were used to complete the project. No marks, right? So recommendations, the SB requires the use of more than one productivity tool, and students should identify the productivity tools and explain how and why they use specific features of the tool or tools to develop their solution. So you are trying to not just state the tools that you use, but you're trying to show that you understand how they work. And I think I understand they're trying to get you to show why you did certain things or what features of the tool were necessary for you to solve your problem. And it goes something like this, right? So you want you basically want to clearly articulate. Let me just change this to red. You want to clearly articulate what tools you used to help you come up with your solution, right? See, every project has different tools, but you need to know why you used the tools you used for your solution. Now, problem is you haven't done the solution yet, which is kind of weird because we haven't actually built the database yet, or we haven't actually built the website yet, and it will be very weird for you to write this up. So I strongly recommend that you come back and do this after you build the database and after you build the website. Although you know the tools that you plan to use, so you could put them in, or so far you've used certain tools to get to where you're at right now, So you could put some of those in, but you'll realize that some of the tools you haven't actually started using them yet. So don't worry. You may come back to add more to this as you use more things. But I'll just put some of the things that you should use, right? So this one is the website. So I'm going to put Notepad++. So this is editing text editor with the ability to code in multiple languages. Ability to code in multiple languages, one of which is HTML. The reason it was chosen is because it color codes the tags used in the website for easier reading and comprehension while building the website. So that's why I am going to use Notepad++ to build the HTML, because there is color coding and there is a layout and it's easy for you to understand and set up what you want to do. So you could use Notepad++. Another tool I'm going to use would be Google Chrome. This is a web browser with the ability to render local web pages while currently editing them. The reason it was chosen is because it is a very modern browser that everyone uses, and it helps, and it would be a good indication of if the actual website would render on a real web server. Right? So Notepad++, Google Chrome. What else did I use? I use let's say I use Windows Picture Editor. This is a picture editor on Windows 10 that allows for the cropping and resizing of images that were used on the website. So you can see I am showing the different software tools that I use and also giving a justification of why it was chosen, because you are going to be the one that's going to show what it's for, right? But you could also go into what the tool has inside of it and some of the features. So like for the Notepad++, I talk about the colors and the ability to choose a programming language. For Google Chrome, I didn't really choose anything that was special about the internal of Google Chrome, but you could talk about the inspector where you can inspect the HTML code. Windows Picture Editor, you can talk about resizing of images and those sort of things. So that's what you want to do for the for your identification for the website. For the database now, for your identification and justification of the solution, you want to put in something that will show that you understand the software that you're using. So let's say the software that I'm using is Microsoft Access. That's the major one you're going to use, right? Now, Microsoft Access gives you a lot of features, so you get the chance now to go a lot into the tools and a lot about what the thing has inside of it. So this was used to implement the database because it is a very user-friendly database building program that is used by many companies. Some of the features that were used were. And then you could go to tongue here, forms dash. They allow for easier data entry into the database. Queries. This allows for searching and filtering filtering data that is required to solve the problem. And then you have reports. This allows for the creation of ready-made reports that can help the business learn new things. Something like that, right? So that's Microsoft Access. What else did I use? I used Microsoft Excel. Or it could be Google Sheets. This was used to collect the information for the tables and do the normalization by splitting them into separate sheets. It also allowed for the import of the data to be done easier by using the import from Excel function in MS Access. So you want to show that you were able to do the normalization in your spreadsheet, separate them into different sheets, and then import them into your database. That is a powerful tool. What else did you use in the solution? You probably could have used, well, that's software you would have used, boy. Usually for a database, it's just Access and Excel you use. You use the Excel to do the normalization, well, a spreadsheet to do the normalization to create the information, and Access to import it. And you could get very granular why you use inside Access. When it comes to the websites, you probably will have more tools that you use because you have to deal with images, you have to deal with videos, you have to deal with colors. You could even list some of the websites that you use, like a color picker website, or if your teacher allows you or says that it's okay for you to use like Google Sites, you could put Google Sites as what you use to come up with the template or something like that. And if your school or your teacher goes as far as helping you use JavaScript, you could say which package in JavaScript that you use. If it was Node.js, if you use any JSON files, you use any framework like Iconic or Flask or anything like that, you could go to town with all of that and list out all of your tools. If you use WordPress, you could put the tools inside there too. But some people, the one I'm going to do is I'm going to do a simple HTML based web page using Notepad++, and that's all. And I'm going to try to do anything super spectacular for this website because really and truly I don't want to overcomplicate it. I just really want you to get your marks. So that's the identification of IT tools using the solution. This is the website one, and this is the database one. You could put more, it's 2 marks, but once you go granularly enough, you shouldn't really have any issues with respect to what you use, right? Now, assessment of the implication of the solution. This is a problem for most students because the implications of the solution is literally almost like the justification I had in Unit 1. So you're taking a lot of the things that you justified in Unit 1 and now you're turning it into an implication, meaning when you build this system, there'll be clearly some issues that will come up when you try to put it in place. What you're trying to do is you're trying to point out that you know about these issues, And you don't just predict it, but you assess it. And assessment and justification is they're close to each other, but the justification is like you try to come up with a solution, but the assessment is after you built it, okay, I realize what the problems could be. So for the assessment, you want to your goal should be to, in the assessment, you want to state all the things that could cause issues when implemented in the specific scenario that you have chosen, right? Now, you would have chosen a particular scenario. In this case, my scenario is a cafeteria in a school, right? So as I said, it may help to look at your justification from Unit 1, because, well, they are closely aligned, right? Right, they are closely aligned. This one, however, needs a lot more technical explanation, right? So you're trying to be very technical in the explanation here. Don't hold back at all. It's cool. So here's what we're going to try to put. Let's say for the website, I'm going to put ease of access. The website may not be very easily accessed. By the differently abled. As such, future plans for the updates of the website should include some sort of accessibility options that can change the font size or use text-to-speech. Right? So what you've done is you have found the implication and you have assessed it. You may not be able to solve the problem now, but you are proving I understand my solution and I understand some of the limitations of it. So the implications that will come when you put the solution in place would be, all right, ease of access. You might have accessibility issues. So another one could be searchability. Right, now it doesn't have to all be things that you can implement in the future, but you're clearly pointing out the errors and you're trying to show that, okay, I understand the limitations, right? So, since this website would not be to anyone outside of the school, it would not be available via the regular internet. An intranet may need to be put up so that the website would be hosted internally only, and this would cause, this would make things. You could change the phrasing of this after, right? I'm not really trying to find out the English right now. So make things hard for people to see outside of the school network. And pre-planning from home may be difficult. You could rephrase that however you need to rephrase it, right? So a website will have ease of access problems, searchability problems. There could also be a security issue. The username and password that is given to the staff at the cafeteria. Staff at the cafeteria may be compromised and malicious things can be done to the website. There may be a need to implement two-factor authentication on the website. On the website to ensure a higher level of security. Not that you're going to do this, but you're showing that you can assess the implications of the solution. And that is what these people are looking for. They want you to show you thoroughly discuss the issues, or like look at the image that I'll show you on the screen right now. This is what they said on the examiner's report. The majority of students were able to identify issues involved with the implementation of the solution. However, many of them failed to thoroughly discuss all the issues or suggest strategies to address the issues sufficiently. Some students discussed strengths or benefits of the proposed solution, and few students discussed issues that were not relevant to the proposed solution. So you want to think of relevant issues that will come along the way. Think about a lot of the module 3 stuff. So security. Then you want to go with like malware. You could go with malware. You could go with compatibility with other browsers. You could go with compatibility with other browsers, malware, and server costs, server storage costs over time. Right, you get the gist of it. These are things that you want to do, assessment of implications of the solution. But of course, you have to choose the ones that match your problem and be able to flesh it out enough so that you will be able to get your marks here, right? On the database side of things, the assessment of the implications, they usually have to do a lot with training and the fact that people are lame. Well, not lame, but you have to train people to use a database most of the time, because people they're not exactly, good at technology, something like that. Alright, so the first one on our database is usually security. A username and password should be implemented to ensure only the authorized persons are allowed to enter information on the database. However, if the users are not good at remembering passwords, you could rephrase that something like that. They would always be locked out, so there should be some sort of administrator password to avoid this, right? That is clearly fleshed out. You're showing that there's a security issue, you're showing that you're putting in a password, but implication of the solution would be that they could forget their password. So you have to keep track of that. You probably want to put like mobile device usage. You'll say because the database is built on MS Access, it can only be accessed via a computer, a desktop, desktop/laptop. No, Windows-based computer. This makes it hard for the staff to update any information via mobile, but via mobile. Yeah. The school, however, does have multiple Windows laptops, so allowing the database to be networked could be a valid option. Right, mobile device usage. What else can we say for the database? You could say user training. That user training could be an issue because it'll be hard to train them. You could say data storage. How do you store the data? Where is it stored? Where it's backup? Data storage and backup. Disaster recovery. Yeah, things like that. Think of things that you will find in module 3, right? A lot of the things that you have in module 3 will be the things that are implications to IT solutions. You want to talk about you could even store data collection. Yeah. Right, so those are some examples of things that you could try to put inside here to show that the implication of your solution, the things that come up when you put the solution in place. Things that you'll usually face, you'll probably face when you do it, and that will make your life a little easier there. So that is the 2 parts I wanted to do in this video, as the identification and justification of IT tools, which you could list out. Is about 2 marks with 2 or 3 marks with, I can't remember exactly how much marks. Let me just check this syllabus quickly. I'll see that identification and justification of IT tools, that's 2 marks. Assessment of the implications, as you realize, is 3 marks. But you see clearly they say discussion of the strategies to address the issues and discussion of all strategies to address the issues. So you have to, you get 1 mark for at least giving various issues, but you have to give strategies on how to deal with them, and it has to be clear. It has to be clear. So you realize I gave some strategies for the assessment of the implication. This can change, blah, blah, blah. This could do this, they could do that. This could help that, this could do this. So those are 3 marks that you're going to have to work for. Just listing them out, that will only get 1 mark. But the other 2 marks, you have to be able to flesh out each one of these very clearly for the implications of the solution. So try to pay attention to that. And yeah, after this, the next 2 videos will be me implementing the actual solution, and the implementation of the solution. I'll show you how the marks go. So we'll actually build out the website, then we'll actually build out the database, and then I'll show you all how to try to put in all of the things that they require to make sure that you get all your marks, and make sure you take the appropriate screenshots to put it in the document. So as we do things, we'll probably take the screenshots and put them in one time. So that's the end of this video. I'll see you in the next video where we actually build the 2 types of solutions. One will be the website, one will be the database. And yeah, then after that, I think we'll be done. Then it'll just be to fill out the document and do the documentation in this video, which actually is worth 0 marks. But we ain't gonna talk about that, right? Thanks for watching the video. I hope it helped you a lot. Remember, there are multiple videos that go through each different part of the IA in details. If you want a particular part that you're looking for, you can check the playlist. The playlist link will be in the bottom here. If you're using the app, you can check in the app and you will see the playlist for it also to show you all the parts that are necessary. If you're looking for quality information technology and computer science classes at the CAPE level, you can check us out, makeITsimpleTT at 1-868-308-8799. Or you can check us online at makeITsimpleTT.com/register and use all of our free resources. But if you're looking for a class that has recordings and explanations for every single thing that you need to do in the whole syllabus, you can check us out.